Just because your partner has money, it's not that you're after the money or someone. Maybe some do that for the money, but in our case is our relationship. I love him because of how respectful he is, how prayerful he is. That's the aspects that drew me towards him. That was a friend of mine, and we had gone as a squad to dance. Actually, I remember the guy who was holding a phone to record, because we all have our public life, and it's what I show you. Yes. And we have our private life, which we do our own things. I am also a human being, and I am entitled to my private life, and people putting it out there is not okay.
Yes, did that scare you though, that more things about you will come out? Is this girl who says you guys were lovers?
I know her. Yes. She was a good friend of mine. Why wait till right now when I'm elevated by God, I'm getting opportunities? What is your aim? Do you want to gain fame via me, or do you just want to put me down?
When women know, quote unquote, they've messed up, when they know wamefanya kila kitu kwa street, then they come now to this side of, I love God, God has changed me, you know, I'm a spiritual being. Yes. What do you say?
What I say is God's grace is new every morning, and God is a forgiving heart, and that's why each day I would also recommend people to pray to have a heart like God, a heart that doesn't look at negativity, a heart that's loving, that's forgiving, that looks at the God of people.
Doesn't keep records.
Exactly. Kairo, I appreciate you, and I thank God for bringing you into my life, and you're beautiful in and out, and I don't care what people say about you. You're the most amazing person I know and I've come across.
Aww. A very good morning to you, and a warm welcome to LNS Rebuilding Restoration Series. My name is Lynn Ngugi. I know majority of you have wanted to know about my guest. There's what is being said out there, and then there's the real definition of herself. And I feel like in life, one of the most important things to do is to be able to define you for you, because whether you like it or not, the world is going to define you. But I'm really interested in knowing who really is she, what does she do, and exactly how does she deal with what people say out there. I'm about to let her introduce herself so that she can be able to walk us through her story. But before I do that, you know, a girl has to pay a couple of bills. I want to say thank you so much to our partners of today's conversation, Kings Developers Limited, and of course Maridadi Motors. We appreciate you for always coming through, and right now you all know about Kings, and you know where to go and get yourself beautiful apartment with an ISO certified company, and you can always walk to their building at Prism Towers, a 5th floor, Hapo Upper Hill, and tell them, Team Sheila, Team Moise, what do you have for me? Remember, they don't just have upper end apartments, they have medium range, lower range, so ile budget yenye itakubali, usiogope, enda uliza maswali na utajibiwa. And of course Maridadi Motors, thank you so much Sir Eric and team for always coming through. So if you want to import a car, leo nitasema enda Maridadi Motors ama uende kwa Kairo, kwa sababu mimi sitaki yo brother yangu anikujie da story. So guys, go get yourself beautiful cars from Maridadi Motors, and remember they have an investment circle, and they also have a driving school, and also they have sparkling where you can be able to go and clean your car, duvets, and also carpets. And to say thank you so much to you guys. Look at our subscription, 900k subscribers. I honestly, sometimes I don't know what to tell you guys, because sometimes I look back and I'm like, this was just a dream. We started from scratch, and collectively we have been able to go all the way to 900k subscribers. So road to 1 million subscribers, here we come. I appreciate you, and also the incredible team that gets to put this work together, Muga, Joshua, Scholar, and the entire team at LNN that you guys don't get to see in front of the camera. I know me ndio kafesa hapa na Robert, but it takes a whole community to put this content together. So I appreciate you. And now, of course, without further ado, please allow me to let my beautiful guest introduce herself.
Yes. No, Moira.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Thank you so much. You look lovely as well.
Let me just say one thing. We are I think 3 or 4 hours behind schedule.
Yeah.
Blackout, floods, na kila kitu. And I was just staring at you and how patient you were with us, you know, because our shoots are just like sat konyuma because of the lights, but you've been very patient with us, so I appreciate that. And I was like, does the world really get to see this part of you, you know? Lakini acha niache kierere for the people who are maybe catching you for the very first time, looking at that camera. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Okay, my name is Faith Waithera, known as Cera Imani on the internet. Well, I'm a business developer. I'm a marketing manager for a brokerage insurance, which is called Ogates, babangu anairan, and also influencer out there. I get to influence and work with other brands. Kwa wingi.
Yes.
Kuna yenye nimeacha nje.
Hakuna yenye umeacha. So, hakuna yenye umeacha. I know Cera comes from Waithera. Am I right?
Yes.
Amani.
Imani.
Sorry,
It's Imani. It's
Imani.
Faith in Swahili. Yes.
Oh, Faith Waithera.
Yes.
Yes. Faith Waithera.
Yes.
Cera Imani.
Exactly.
That is very beautiful. Let me
you.
ask you, if there's one thing you are proud of as yourself, what is it?
Is the fact I'm a God-seeking woman. That's one thing I'm proud of, because it's been washed out in this generation. Not seeking God is now a flex and everything, but the fact I remain steadfast with God is one thing I'm very, very proud of. Yes.
Talk to me about your relationship with God, because I know right now there's that conversation out there where you hear someone saying, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, you know. Which one are you, and how is your relationship with God, and where did it stem from?
One thing I can say, I'm not religious also, I'm spiritual. Religion can tend to mislead people and all. I won't dive into that, but I am spiritual. I understand my Bible. I read my Bible. I pray. I have my relationship with God as much as I go to church, and I listen to the pastors and all. Where it stemmed from is family. We family yetu kutoka shushu yangu, nyanya yangu, been brought up in church. Got baptized around class 7. Nikaingia high school, ilikuwa Catholic, nilikuwa na serve misa pale, niko na picha, nimevaa zile gowns na fukiza and all. But I went back to Protestant and all. As human nature, there are point your faith stumbles and all. Became worldly, but then I went back to God, because at the end of the day, He's the one who keeps us. Yes.
At the end of the day,
yes,
we go back to our roots.
Yes.
And there's always that part where you are so, you know, God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. And then, of course, the pressure and you want to do this and that and that.
Yes.
But how do you know it's time for me to leave this and go back to God? And what pushes someone to want to go back to the roots?
What I can say, tunaitanga kasauti kana niongelesha. My mom is like, it's not sauti, it's not intuition, it's not your stomach, it's the Holy Spirit. We all have the Holy Spirit within us. And the Holy Spirit is the one that gives us conviction. When you're doing something, utafeel kwa roho yako, ai, apana. That's the Holy Spirit listening to you. And when my mother told me it's the Holy Spirit, si katumbo kako, I learned to listen to it. And when I feel no, because I think 3 instances, I was going out of my comfort zone and not kitu si mzuri. And you'd feel, nataka kutoka kwa nyumba kwenda hapa, una feel no. But you go and then it just goes southwards, thrice. And at the point I was like, you know what, I really need to listen. I should stop ignoring it and doing according to my will and listen when the Holy Spirit speaks. Yes.
You know, talk to me about, you know, growing up, because one thing I love about this show, we get to really know you for you. So from a place you're comfortable in, could you talk to us about life growing up and how that was like?
I grew up in Nakuru. Mimi ni mtoto wa Nakuru. Yes, it's like a very small city now. Yes, and that's where I grew up. Got to grow up with also my grandmother before she moved into Nyeri. When she moved in, tukabaki sasa mimi na mamangu peke yake. Studied in King's Academy. Still a very good school. It was a staunch school at the moment. And high school, I did Christ the King Academy. kanisa ya sisters, shule ya sisters, strict.
From way back.
Strict,
Yeah.
yes. And I also campus did in Nakuru, Kabarak University. And Kenye ilinileta Nairobi is work. I got a job application. Nikasema, hata nikiwa mdogo nilikuwa naambia mom tuende Nairobi. I love Nairobi. It looks fun. It has a lot of things. Nakuru is very reserved. Yes. Nakuru, kama wendi hoteli kukula ni swimming. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have activities as much as Nairobi. So nilikuwa naingia nikiwa na TV, Straight Up, Teen Republic, I just watch and I'm fascinated about Nairobi, how people are living life, and there's so much. And I used to say nataka kwenda kuishi Nairobi. Mom, situhamia Nairobi, mbona tunakaa Nakuru? Yes. So when I got the opportunity, nikamwambia mom, bye. Nimeenda. That I think was at 22. That's when I moved in to Nairobi, and I started working now in Nairobi. Yes.
Well, what are you coming to do in Nairobi?
At that time, I was coming to do sales for an agricultural company. It's called Iconic Agricultural Company. I hope you guys are still thriving out there.
Oh,
yes.
You're still good people?
Yes, yes, we're still good. We have a good relationship with the CEO, Charles Kibiru. Yes.
No bridges burnt?
No, none burnt.
Okay.
Yes.
So you entered Nairobi in 2022?
Yes. No, 2020 November.
2020 November.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How was it? Did it meet your expectation? Because, go on.
Oh, it was overwhelming. Nilifika, it was raining, and you know how Nairobi is chaotic. Niko na suitcase. Auntie yangu ananikujia. It was just up and about. But I thank my aunt, Liz. She has a salon there in town. She's the one who made it very warm for me when I came to Nairobi. As much as it was overwhelming, commuting from Donholm, that's where I started staying, and kazi ilikuwa utawala. So asubuhi kurauka kwenda and back and all. She made it very warm for me for the first month when I stayed with her before. Nitake kujikaisha.
Independent.
Yes, Miss Independent. Yes, so I found it very overwhelming. And then when I came, I think I had a very small circle back in Nakuru. I didn't have so many people I knew in Nairobi. So it was quite lonely. So it was work, just back home. Work, back home. No one to talk to, no one to engage with. Weekend I can't do anything. As much as I knew Nairobi has a lot to do, I didn't know where to start from, who to start with. Yeah, so it was quite a bit lonely to start for. But being an introvert, mimi nilikuwa sawa. Bora nirudi nyumbani nione TV.
We can survive.
Sina story.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And you know, of course, one of the things that you do right now, I love how you influence even for brands.
Yes.
And I'm not even saying this because you're on this platform, you know. How did you know, or did you ever want to become an influencer? And when we talk about an influencer, what does influencing mean for you? Because now you find like everybody's an influencer. I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
For you, how did you, you said, this is what I'm gonna do, and how did you tailor make that journey to get where you are?
So I can say it began in 2017.
Yeah.
TikTok ilikuwa inaitwa Musical.ly. So I found it and
wait.
Yes. Way back. Yes. So ikiitwa Musical.ly, it was a lot of just transitions, purely music, and I started having fun with the application. Ndio ikakuja ikaitwa TikTok. So it had a lot of comedy and all. So people who know me from way back, nilikuwa na vituka, because I used to do a lot of funny lip syncing and dancing. So that's how it began. So people were like, you're really good at this. Why don't you push it further? For me, I was doing it for me, for fun. Because I like making fun skits, I love dancing and doing transitions. So it never occurred to my mind to push it further. Then, Nakuru is very reserved. So nilikuwa like, Nakuru nitaenda wapi nitafanya nini? Probably if I was in Nairobi, because Nairobi really expands your mind, ningekuwa nimejituma kabisa. And then came 2019. That's the first time I trended. Iyo konko utawezana the challenge. Na nikabandikwa pale Twitter.
Wait,
yes.
During the COVID time,
yes,
when Aziad was doing it too.
Exactly.
Okay.
So nikabandikwa pale Twitter. The comments started coming through, and I was like, please take it down. I can't take it anymore. Because I was very young.
What were these? How old were you there?
20. I think 20. I can't
Lakini,
figures bado, but 20. 20 or 21 between the two. So yeah, that's the first time I trended, and
you were
took
dancing.
at all. Yeah. So I took a break from TikTok because I was like, mnaniita hivi, this is not me, I feel so bad
What
about it.
What was so you posted the clip on TikTok?
Yes, and then you see how people take and
Yes.
post on other social media.
Like on Twitter and stuff.
Exactly.
All right?
Yes, and it was just a very innocent dancing. Uko na kitambi utawezana.
Okay.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was flipped on another level. Told the person who had posted it to kind of take it down because it was really overwhelming on my end. That made me pause from social media and rethink at how people are telling me to push further. Yeah, in regards to content. So, nikaendelea tu na kusoma kwangu and working part-time at Safaricom. So, fast forward, doing my corporate life, I still admire the influencing life because getting to do what you really love and who you are is really nice. I also enjoyed the corporate side, but kuna ile ka passion ka kufanya kitu unapenda day and night. And was it last year? Yeah, last year, January. That's when I was like, I think the year before, I'd consult friends and all who are familiar with marketing, nisaidie, because I didn't know where to start from. So I was like, can we like partner up? I really don't know how to go about it. You're really good in marketing. Can you teach me, be my manager? Gigi kikam, sina kupea percentage yako na tunagrow na wewe. And I think people at that time were like, you're really dreaming too big, you know, for a lady like you. I told you kwenye unaanzia you're overstretching. So comes January and I was like, will I keep on waiting on people to start? Let me start with what I have, see where it goes, make my mistakes and learn from them. That's how you grow. Yeah, and that's why I started putting out images, making content. Nikienda ni buy kitu na brand na record ka video kapoa, ataka ilikuwa mzuri at that time. Just try record a nice video, post it up, tag the brand would appreciate. And with that I got sight to other brands, because ujue brands zingine zitafikiria you're actually working with these brands. They don't know you're doing it out of goodwill. And that's how they started reaching out and kumbe naweza fanya kazi.
Yeah. An opportunity finds you really prepared, you know?
Yes, exactly. So I pushed. Can't say it was the best journey. Kafika mali, like 2-3 months, felt like giving up because the gig wasn't pushing through and everything. So I'm like, I'm putting a lot of effort, a lot of work. I'm not getting returns. Should I just quit it? It's not maybe my thing and all. But my mom is like, keep on pushing. But she's my stronghold, she's my everything. Keep on pushing, nitaku record video. Unataka ni learn kupiga picha?
Oh, mom.
Yeah, she's like, nionyeshe angle nitaka. And she's like, you've not made content. Tufanye hivi, tutoke hapa, there's a nice restaurant here. Dress nicely, I go take you nice photos, you post and all. That's how we went about it with my mom. Kept on pushing here and there. Doors open. And now people want to relate with you when they see you growing. And
the brands
when you are
want
brands and all now. They started coming in plenty. Yes.
And then the money starts coming in.
Yes, inaanza kuingia.
Yeah.
It's good. It keeps on pushing you, but all in all is don't forget who you are, because it's easy to get caught up in all of this and forget who you are. So you balance too that life and who you are, because sometimes inakuwa ka imposter syndrome when you're content creating and who you are. So I try make it who I am, you know.
That's who you
are. Get out of hand. Yes.
And you've said, you know, you are bound to lose yourself.
Exactly.
Talk to me about you losing yourself. Have you ever lost yourself?
I think the fact I have God, he keeps on holding me stronger. There are times I'd break down in the house because I'm like, you go on social media, your pressure, yeah. Man, I'm an influencer, nimeanza, but huyu anafanya better kuniliko. What am I not doing? Ain't I pretty than her? Una get that aspect, yeah? You're supposed to be better than someone.
Yes.
And I realized you are you, they are them. And people love them as ule vile yako. Lynn, we love you as you are. You might not look like Imani, but there's a grace you hold that spreads onto people. And there's a grace I hold that spreads onto people. And it can never be the same. So, nikache yo aspect ya kuangalia watu. And I'm like, kwani mimi sifanyi? Kwani watu hawanioni mimi? You know.
Mbona wa comment?
Exactly.
Mbona wa like?
Exactly. And I was like, let me stop and focus on me, grow me. If you love me, well and good. If you don't, it's okay. But let me do it because I love it and I want to do it, not do it for people. Because when you do it for people, pressure pressure itakuweka ni mingi sana. But when you do it because you love it, you can take a break when you want to, you can proceed when you want to. But when you're doing it for people, una feel lazima nitoke niende restaurant nipige ndio watu wajue naishi maisha poa. Lazima I force nivae nguo certain ndio watu wa feel like I have a cute closet and all. So I'm just like, just do you, be you. Mtu akisikia umerudia nguo si ni yangu,
it's yours.
Nitarudia.
You know, and there's always that misconception, you know, pretty women like you, quote unquote, your finances are not okay, so there's always a man somewhere doing A to Z for you. You're just a pretty face, but a pretty face needs someone to take care of it. Was that a thing for you?
Yeah, it's happened. Even people who know my mother and know me quoted that. Alikuwa like, talk to Imani, isikuwe ni wababa wana fund lifestyle yake and all. And my mom is like, do you know how hardworking this lady is? Because I started working when I was still in campus second year back in Kabarak. Na nilianza na ile promotion ya Safaricom. There's a guy called George wa Techno, ni supervisor wa Nakuru. Alikuwa like, come, we're doing a gig 1 week. Zile za jua, za customer, kuja. That's what I did. And it paid. The second time, akanita, now we were doing it in Safaricom. And the sales zikapanda juu. And the manager, the regional manager wa Kenya, alikuwa like, who's that lady? Would like to have her, since she's really made the sales spike so much. So that's how I got to now start working with Techno without papers, you know. Favor ya Mungu, not my grace. And I started pushing while still studying. So you see, nimekuwa mtu wa kujituma. For me, sichagui kazi ile. If I can do it and I'm in the place to do it, let me do it, let me push. And I pushed and I pushed. And that's the same way when I came here and did sales for the agricultural company. Pushing. So you see, people came and saw me on social media as an influencer. They didn't know who I am. Because people who know me from way back, wanajua mimi msichana wa kujituma. I will work and all. It's not just about influencing. So you see a pretty lady, you assume
akona mbaba.
Exactly. Not everyone is like that. Some might have, kuna wenye wanafanya hivyo, which trickles down to us. So if someone sees a pretty lady, they just assume that's her life. But we should stop judging, because I'm also a victim of judging people. Like, I'll see on social media and judge, and I'm like, until I interact with you, then that's when I'll judge. Because I hear how you speak. You can really judge someone from how they speak, how they reason. That's how you'll tell what kind of a person this is. And ataka judgment ilikuwa passed as like, it's okay. Me, at the end of the day, the people who are close to me, because I really had a small circle, are the ones who matter. They know me better, they know who I am, and that's okay. I'm content with that. Yes.
Do you think you have pretty privilege in terms of, you know, you are so pretty, so people might assume you get the gigs because of how you look, you get the gigs because of your glass hour shape? Do you think you have pretty privilege?
Pretty privilege is a thing.
Yes.
Because I'd say at instances we'd go to a restaurant with a friend and someone may be like, wait, anakuja, bili imekuwa catered for. It's because you're pretty. But what I can say, what has put me forefront of everything that I have done is not because I'm pretty. It's because I have God's favor. There's someone who's uttermost beauty, naturally, hana kitu, na amenishinda kwa urembo. But ako pale hasongi. So sometimes tutoe your concept here, because you're beautiful, people owe you something. You get. It's a very bad mentality. Instead, pray for God's favor. When you have God's favor, ile milango hata kunafikiria itafunguliwa, you will enter those doors, and you'll wonder how you got to penetrate those doors and be in such places and access those good things. It's because you have God's favor with you.
Okay. Yes. How do you define beautiful as yourself, as a woman? How do you define beautiful?
How I define beautiful is how you speak. What comes, you know, as much as we have the outside appearance of pretty and all, what comes from you is what is 90% of beauty. How do you speak to people? You know, you might be pretty, we go to a restaurant, how you handle the guard or the waiter just
says a lot about you.
Yeah, but if you're polite to people, if you're respectful, if you honor people, now that's utmost beauty that can't be stolen. Yes.
You know, there's this now, you, of course, you have the brain, even the way you speak in, you know how to have a conversation, you know where we are going with this conversation. And then, you know, there's this part of you that people wake up and see on social media. Cera amezikwenda. Cera is down there. Sijui kani Okonko alikuwa hapo nyuma, then ako tu hapo, you know.
Yes.
You know, so sometimes when we watch this thing, even as we, you know, the thing is, people will be like, look at her. But deep down, people are practicing in secret how to do
true.
like, you know. So, you know, we wake up and there's this clip and Cera amezikwenda and there's a man's there and she's like, let me, you know what I'm talking about. What was that?
That was period last year when I used to go out, I think around January. That was a friend of mine, and we had gone as a squad to dance. Actually, I remember the guy who was holding a phone to record, because we all have our public life, and it's what I show you, and we have our private life, which we do our own things. I am also a human being, and I am entitled to my private life, and people putting it out there is not okay. Just because I'm a public figure doesn't mean I can't get to have my private life and enjoy myself.
Yes.
And we all have our times. Kuna times za kwenda out and all. And that's one of the times I was having fun last year na iliisha. You know, actually we were having a conversation with my friend yesterday. I'm like, I no longer enjoy going out because I used to dance a lot and all. And that was then.
Yeah.
And you dragging that right now just shows. My mother was like, how bitter is this person? Ulikuwa umeshikilia hii video. Unangoja when she's in a stable relationship, you put it out. For what purposes? You know, did you want to date me? I refuse to date you. So you want to drag me down, or what's the essence of you doing that? And also let people who are out there who have their life on public, just because it's their work, don't go on exposing their private life. Let them be entitled to a private life. They are also human beings, just like you. And also you never know, 2-3 years to come, you will also be in the same spot she is. So don't forget that.
Good.
Yes.
And also just to clear the guy, because there's a guy anakaa hapo, was that your, there's those saying, people saying that mbaba, was that your mbaba?
The guy is the same age as me, 25.
Oh yeah.
Pardon that guy, please. He's not Mbaba. He's a friend of mine. He's a good production manager.
Yeah.
I won't taja his name and where he's work, but he's a 25-year-old guy. We were in a talking stage at the moment. We are good friends right now.
You
and
were almost having a thing going on.
Not precisely. Tulikuwa tumeanza kuongea, but on a friendly basis. But we realized we are better off as friends and all. So we just went out, danced, na ikaisha. Yes.
Okay. So si ati mlikuwa lovers?
No.
Kuna grindia friend?
Haven't you seen women grind on their fellow women?
No, I've seen that.
So when people go out, women do it very innocently. Like, we just stand and dance on your friend innocently. At the back of your mind, there's nothing grindy and or something. Is, hey, we are dancing, come we dance, you get. So you're just caught up in the moment of the music and you're dancing na imeisha after the music and all. There's no big deal to it. But now, you know, Kenyans and all, they wanna formulate stories where there's none. Yeah.
But you love dancing.
Yeah,
Cera, you're a good dancer.
Not twerking only.
No, not twerking.
Yeah,
whichever way.
dancing. I used to actually dance in high school. Danced Prayers Day too. Like proper dancing. Yeah, I used to love dancing so much. Yes, zile TikTok.
Tuzikwendi kwenda. So talk to me about that part, because you are here, you are partying with friends, and you know these people are my friends. I know who is recording. How does that clip get to the public, knowing you did it among friends?
Actually, the guy hakuwa kwa squad ya beshte yetu. Sijui alikuwa ametoka wapi, but I think he knew one person in the table. And he was recording, and I was very uncomfortable. I was like, why are you recording? Mi sipendi watu wa, you've gone out somewhere and someone is, because you just feel very intrusive and you look very malicious. Why are you recording? For what purposes? It just seems unangoja kitu ifanyike utoe receipts, you know. So, and we stopped him. Akasema, oh, it's just for Snapchat and all. And I was just like, okay, take it down, story share. So I never knew he did delete it.
Yes.
So, or who he was. I just remember a figure of a man. It was actually a man, not a lady. Yeah, so.
Good. So between you being in that kind of environment and you knowing you have God in you, where do you draw the line now between what you can do when you're in God and what you can't do?
At that moment, I can say, at a point I became a lifeist. That was the 2-3 months when I was feeling overwhelmed with content creation, my life. There's a point you even ask God, what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? You know, and that's when I think I used to go out a lot with my friends just to have fun. And, you know, sometimes we go out and party. It's not because we are worldly, but you want to lose what is, it's been hectic, unafikiria vitu mingi. So just go have fun and forget what is going on and all. But in life I've learned, usikimbie huku. Kimbia kwa magoti, you know, when you're feeling overwhelmed. But it's not bad to go out. You can go out, sit. Si hata tunaendanga na mzee reggae, he loves reggae, and we'll just sit and enjoy music and kila mtu aende nyumbani. Yeah, so it's okay to go out and all. And being a Christian, I know watu watakuwa like going out, nini. So it's okay, but what you do is what now defines you more. So you can't be exposing yourself and dancing ratchetly here and there or doing this and that. And it's okay to have a stage. And no one should judge you for that. We all have a stage. And I don't regret the stages that I've had because it's built me to who I am right now. If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't know better. You get?
Yes. Did that scare you though, that more things about you will come out? Because it's like the person was on a vendetta to make sure that everything about you comes out. And as we can see even right now, there are people who are claiming they're in a relationship with you. They were in a relationship. I think there's this girl who says you guys were lovers. Do you want to comment on that you guys were in a relationship? Do you know her?
Yeah, I know her. She was a good friend of mine, but I do not want to comment on that.
Don't comment on what she's saying, but how does that make you feel that she's saying what she's saying?
Definitely, ineka kikwazo mingi. You're like, why wait till right now when I'm elevated by God, I'm getting opportunities. What is your aim? Do you want to gain fame via me, or do you just want to put me down? What is what? Make me understand about it. But some things I always say, you can't fight everyone, Lynn. Lynn, when you trend and all, and you are wondering, nini nimekufanyia, una get, nini nilikufanyia, nini nimekutuma, why? Why? You get. But my mother is like, Lan, you can't fight everyone. So many people hate, so many people will try to ride on this wave. But what do? Go on your knees, pray to God, and tell him to fight your battles. Ukionyesha Mungu na wewe uko na kifua ya kujipigania, atakuacha ujipiganie. He'll let you fight your own battles. But what I do is I get on my knees and I'm like, Lord, you know me better. You know the journey I am. You are who makes me. And for these people who are trying to fight me, I don't know why. You know. And you know what you have for me. And there's this preaching I was listening to John Salmon or something, and he was saying, we as Christians, or when you get elevated, mnapatanga vita sana kama wewe, and it gets to a point you're like, God, why me? Mbona watu wananipiga? And alikuwa anasema, demons don't fight you because you're lean, they fight what you have, and that's what is happening. God has seen. You know, wanasemanga, before Mungu akubariki, utatingishwa. And I believe God has greater things. And I've already started seeing it manifest in my life. He's elevating me. And, zitapigana na mimi. Na si ati demon itakuja hapa kaa pepo nyeusi ipigane na mimi.
Ni watu unajua.
Ni watu. It will work via people. Yeah.
Have you tried reaching out? Have you tried calling her? Just asking those questions. What are you doing? Why? And does it hurt? It's coming from someone you once called a friend.
Yeah, definitely it hurts. Secondly, you're a human being, you know better. And definitely you doing that, I don't know where it stems from and all. Definitely ulikaa ukafikiria, because I think that's a video ya 2021. Ukascroll, ukaenda utafute video ya 2021, you post up and put something out like that, requesting for something and all. You have an agenda. at the end of the day, I don't know what agenda you have. You can't convince everyone to do right by you, Lynn. You can't.
And the lady, have you tried calling her?
No.
Would you call her?
No. Yeah. Nilisema, I prayed to God and I told God, fight my battles. Ni hata mimi Mungu akiona naanza kujingangania, kujisukumia, ataniacha. So what I did is I let God do it for me. Yes.
You've said God has elevated you.
Yes.
And I know one of the aspects is, of course, umetaja mzee, tutakuja kwa mzee, but how has God elevated you? When you talk of elevation, what do you mean?
What I mean by elevation is my Christian journey. I am more firm, more staunch. Ile, proudly, I can sit somewhere like here and speak about him. Ile, the knowledge of God. Spirituality is deep. And I no longer know God in the carnal version. Yeah, Mungu ni mzuri, anabariki. Now I understand him spiritually. Now I can sit and feel what plans he has for me and what he doesn't want me to do. And that's what I mean when I say God is elevating me. And also he's opening doors, you know. Since I started influencing, definitely I've been praying to God. Nifungulie mlango ya brands and I'll open this, open this, open this. And another preaching ya John Salmon, he was saying sometimes God unashinda umeomba kwa Mungu afungue mlango, hafungui. And you go back, you're like, why God, why are you not opening? Sometimes you're not ready spiritually to fight those battles. At that time sikuwa na hiyo nguvu. Angefungua hizi milango aniweke kwenye niko last year, I think I would have crumbled. But right now, I've grown spiritually. So when he elevates me and opens those doors, I can be able to fight those fights that are coming my way. Because now I have him.
Yes. How do you lean on God when you have other people saying this is the shori of the street, you know? Uyu shori amekuwa kwa streets. You know how they say you've heard. How then where do you get the strength to lean on God when they are saying this? And when you hear people say you are that shori of the street, what do you tell yourself?
One thing I don't understand, and I will never understand, and I think nilifunga hiyo chapter ya kujaribu kuelewa, is why are you hating on me? You don't even know me. Ulipata mtu amenitukana, ukasema wacha niongeze.
Acha ni join thread.
You get? And I'm not bound to understand. It's been there, people have been bullied. It will continue being there. It won't stop right now because I'm in the limelight. I know who I am, and God knows who I am. So whatever opinion you have over my life doesn't define who I am. And it won't make me that person just because you called me that.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as mimi najua mimi ni nani, na Mungu anajua mimi ni nani, I am content.
And the initial stages, because we were saying, sometimes we like to say you'll develop a thick skin when it comes to online bullies, social media bullies, but you never really develop that thick skin.
Yes.
The initial stages when you woke up and you were trending countrywide, how was that like and how did you find out? And psychologically, how did that affect you?
I think at that time also, my faith has really grown this year. And towards the end of the year. So I've been having God by my side. I think that's why God felt it was the right moment to position me where he's positioned me. Because he just doesn't do things like man.
Yes.
He does it in his own knowledge. And when I was put out there, I knew it would come a time. They will love you, they will hate you. It's normal. I've seen it with other people out there, other successful women. And just, I think I live by ignoring. I just ignore because I can't. Sitaenda nikichukua simu ya kila mtu, sitaenda nikidelete account ya kila mtu.
Utaenda ukijustify kwa kila mtu.
Yeah, I can't justify myself to everyone. So I just let you be and I be me. Nikipata comment mbaya kwa page yangu, I just block you. Now, niondole kwa page yangu. If it's somewhere else, I don't go looking for it. But if it's in my page, I remove you because I have positive people. And I think as human beings, I don't know why we are inclined, and I love using this example. From 7 a.m. Lynn, if you get 5 p.m. of your day, it's been positive. Between 6 and 5 p.m., kitu mbaya ifanyike. As a human being, so utasema sikio yako imeharibika.
Kabisa.
Exactly. But why? But from 7 to 5, so your day has been good. Mbona hiyo 10 minutes of badness ndio imeoccupy your day. So I've taught myself as a human being, if something bad happens, it's just a passing wave. It doesn't define the whole day, because there are positive things that happen, and that's how you learn to have a good spirit. And mtu anashangaa mbona tunakuwa na good mood hata vitu mbaya zikifanyika. It's because you're teaching yourself a bad wave, when it comes, it doesn't define your whole life or who you are, or your day has been ruined. Because just the same way with a lot of haters on the internet, why do we always focus on the haters? Ushajiuliza mbona watu waendangi kwa aki uliambiwa unakaa vizuri, aki kuna mtu alisema wewe ni mrembo sana, alisema alikuwa ni why don't we focus on that? Inakwanga imagine amesema unakaanga hivi, you do this or that. No. So I'm like, people who love me and who look up to me and admire me are so much more than those people who are hating. But society has taught us to focus on those negative people, and I want to change that mentality, that as much as there are people who are hating, angalia watu wanakupenda, focus on the positive, focus on that. Stop being a human being who's inclined to negativity. Don't be drawn to that. Focus on the positive. Huyu amenitukana hivi, endo some 10 comments mzuri and focus on that. Remove those negative comments, remove them, because
either ways they'll always be there.
They'll always come. And kuna mtu anauliza, why do these people hate and all? As like, I think my theory is, these people, you'll never find someone on your level or above you being a hater. Ukweli uongo?
True story.
It's always those people who are below. Number one, it's because maybe they've given up on life because they can't push further. Or number two, they're just people who don't have the stamina to push further. So, juu ya hana nguvu, kitu atafanya ni, anataka kuchukie. Haya, tuseme you're being loved, you're in a very successful relationship. Ye hana successful relationship. So what she wants to do, she wants to hate, mwachane, urudi ukwe single kama yeye. They have no difference, bad quote, but inakwanga, tukio shule, chem ndio watu walikuwa naanguka, walikuwa napata E.
Yes.
Let's use chemistry. Ukipata E, una feel vibaya. Ukichungulia jirani amepata E, roho inasikia vizuri. Why?
Tuko level moja.
Exactly. Jana stima ilikuwa imepotea. Utachungulia kwa jirani. Za jirani zimepotea. Niko sawa. So I take them as those human beings who operate like that. Ile mimi sina hiyo nguvu ya kufika hapo. So wacha nikuweke ukuja level yangu nisikie sawa. Yeah.
Good. You know, you just reminded me of a quote. It says elevation requires separation.
Yes.
There are people who will not want to see you elevated. There are people who would, I think as long as tuko pamoja, we are good. But the moment I start elevating, then it's even the energy changes, you know.
Yes.
But you know, there's also people who say that when women know, quote unquote, they've messed up, when they know wamefanya kila kitu kwa street, then they come now to this side of, I love God. God has changed me. You know, I'm a spiritual being. Yes. What do you say?
What I say is God's grace is new every morning, and God is a forgiving heart. And that's why each day I would also recommend people to pray to have a heart like God, a heart that doesn't look at negativity, a heart that's loving, that's forgiving, that looks at the good of people.
Doesn't keep records.
Exactly. Because people will fall. Even you, hata kwa Biblia inasema, you're quick to look at the speck at your brother's eye, but you have a huge log in yours. Everyone has their wrongs. Everyone has failed.
Everyone has
in
had a
life.
past.
Exactly. Kila mtu akona yake. Hata hao wenye wanakuja kuchukia hapo, they still have their own. It's just because you're not on people's faces for yours to be dug up. But if it were the case, pia zako zingetolewa. So what I want to remind people is, going back to God, it haina faces ama nini, and it's not limited. Who are you to limit my access to God if he doesn't limit my access to him? So toeni your notion. And no matter who, I know there are people who are on the wrong right now, and they just feel like they've sinned so much, they are so unclean, but just know God is not like human. He doesn't look at your wrongs or what you've done. And for God, sin is sin. Uko umefanya hii ikue kubwa aje ndogo aje, yeye anazitama sin. So you can go back to him and he can renew you, and it's okay. And no matter what people say, always focus on what God has to say about you. Yes.
I love that, you know. Sin ni sin. Yes. And he doesn't look at ni nini umefanya.
Yeah, hata ati ulifanya hivi day 1, day 2 ulifanya hivi. No. He's like, you came back to me and I am so happy. See, kuna ile yenye nasemanga God is happy, you leave the 99 to look for the one, and God is content. He's more happy amerudisha huyo moja kuliko our 99 wenye already wako kwa presence yake.
Beautiful.
So always feel you can come back to him, and limitless time you will fall, not once, not twice, but he will always pick you up. He's not like human being. Always remember that.
Do you think we should extend grace to people, because once again everyone has a past?
Yes, we should learn. That's why I say seek a heart like God. Stop having a human heart. When you ask God to be like him, ukwe kama yeye, you learn. You're more forgiving, you're more understanding, you're more patient, as you claim, because things will happen and all. So let's just learn, because God's grace is new every morning. It doesn't end today. Ati juu nilifanya hivi imekatika hapa amenisamehea ya kutosha. No. Si hata hiyo ya forgive 77 times 7. Haikuangi in 1 year. And all. So it's limitless. God's love is limitless. Forgiveness is limitless. So
and
let's
his
learn.
Grace is sufficient.
Exactly. Let's learn to be more like God. And you will have peace. And that's why I think at the midst of all this, si nguvu yangu, I also appreciate Kairo for defending me so much. Like, that's really huge, because it's so hard to find that, and I appreciate it so much from him. He's gone out of his way, his strength, despite anything, he still fights for me, and I appreciate that so much about him. And also, the thing that's carried me is, nonili unaombanga, God give me peace that surpasses human understanding. And that's the peace I have, and that's what's carried me through this journey, because utasema ufanye nitafeel alafu initoke. It's God's peace. It's not my ujanja yangu or anything.
Beautiful. Tuongelele mzee. Wamegoja. Najua mmegoja sana, ndio huyo mzee nampea sasa. Uliandikiwa 5. Najua unajua mmegoja sana, but tuongelele. How is Kairo?
Kairo is good. Yes.
Did you know it was gonna be him? How did you guys meet?
We met on the internet. Actually. Conversation here and there, request for a date and all, and that's how we ended up meeting and having conversation. And he's a very godly man as well, and I'm a godly woman, and we pray a lot. And in the process, ile uliza Mungu ni hii ama ni character ingine inaningoja. But what I believe, God's process is never wrong. Akileta mtu kwa maisha yako, sometimes it might be happy or a painful, but that person always has a part to play in your life. If you look closely, even the people who did you wrong, they had a part to play in your life, in elevating you, in putting you in such a position that you are. So I term our relationship as that. God knows where he's leading us and his will for us. I don't know any better, and that's why I trust upon him.
How long have you guys been together?
It's been since August last year. That's how we started speaking, a friendship here and there, on and off. And then we've been dating now for 6 months.
Okay. What made you know he's the one?
I think when you're inclined to God, God really speaks to you in a lot of terms. So in the midst of everything, you pray, and kuna kwanga na kale kalist kama ombi, nimeambia Mungu, may he be like this. And that's when you start
Yours was like, may he be like?
Sizitaji.
Ciara alituambia yake. Even Ciara told us. Even us were waiting for you. You know, people, because I saw people are like, hey, which prayer did Cera make to God, you know? But you had your list. You knew this is the kind of man I want.
I think before my relationships, Mungu nipe huyu. Ataka amekuja sijajua ni yeye ama, but sometimes God doesn't answer you according to what you want. It's his will. Kenya anataka ndio atafanya, si Kenya unataka. So I think before I used to do it in the terms of nataka, nimeona huyu nataka. So God give me. Sitaki kujua, nipe. Na Mungu atanionyesha, nimekwambia sikupei. And you know, so it got to a point I started, my prayer point was no longer, because I'm a woman who really dates for marriage, not, because honestly, if you're not dating for marriage, what are you doing? Why should we be together, grow each other's emotion, if I know I'm just going to live in the midst of it all? So I inclined my prayer to stop seeking, because God says, seek me and I'll give you the rest. So Mungu aliona, oh, ni mwanaume una seek si mimi, nitakuonyesha. So I stopped praying in regards to that, and I was like, let your will be done upon my life. And the right man, you know my heart, you know my desires, and you know what I want. And I believe if I seek you, you will present to me what is right according to you. And during that moment when I was praying towards and inclined towards that, that's when God brought Kairo along. Yes.
You see, you're blushing. Kunywa tu maji.
Yes.
He brought him along.
Yes.
And you get along quite fine.
Yes, we get along.
Yes.
Yes.
Were you okay with it all being on social media, or how did that happen? And if you were to go back, do you think you would put your relationship out there?
Yes, I would still put my relationship out there. What happens is I was also someone who was publicly out there already. He's publicly out there. We just came together. So there's no way we could hide our relationship, you know. And whether we post it or not, people will always have an opinion and they'll always comment. Ingekuwa, oh, anamficha, juu ana cheat, you know. Kungekuwa tuna version ya story ingine. So we did our relationship not according to how people wanted it to be, but according to us. We are not doing it for the likes and all. We are just enjoying our relationship. We are just like any other relationship. Yeah, maybe those people don't have so many followers, but their followers watch their relationship and all. Because nani hasikiangi vizuri kukuwa na mtu na just enjoying your partner and putting your partner out there and how you love. Every woman wants that and every man wants that. I think society and a lot of hurt that has been in relationships make people have the need of sijui mfiche ndio nini, mfiche ndio. No, do the relationship according to what feels right to you guys, not what society wants for your relationship. Because at the end of the day, if you try live for the society, that's how you end up being depressed. That's how you end up committing suicide.
Yes.
Because you're doing it for the society. But if you're doing it for you, and is your partner okay? Are you okay? That's fine. Whatever other people have to say doesn't have to count or add on to it. People will talk whether you're doing bad or good. So you do it.
You do it.
Yeah.
And I know you had briefly mentioned how he came through for you.
Yeah.
But amidst all these things, did you expect that? Did you expect him to go so hard for you?
Apparently, I didn't expect. You know, meaning ule ntanyamazia tu, I'll just let it be. But apparently, he's a fighter. And I really love that about him. Like, he'll fight for what he loves, for what he terms as right. He will go above and beyond for it. And that's what makes him very amazing. Yeah. Yes.
You know, and so he was there telling you, babe, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah.
He went to war. Hey.
Yeah, he's been like, let me fight these battles for you. Wewe unaweza kaa utulie, wacha mimi nipigane nao. Sawa.
Has it affected him though? Because you know, men, as we were saying, they are very strong, but deep down akikaa kwa kakona saa ingine, has it caught up with him? Has it affected him?
According to my knowledge, I'm not aware if it has or it hasn't. But one thing I always reassure him is there's room to sit and talk. Always just know I'm not a lady who will jump into defense mode when something is put on the table or nianze kujitetea. If you feel there's a concern, I'm a lady who listens. I practice active listening.
Yes.
I'll sit and I'll listen. Ongea, niambie, what do you feel? And I feel a lot of men don't get that room, kusikizwa, and that's why it's brought a lot of scuffle in relationships. Because sometimes I feel relationships and just because of communication. And communication si lea English. Back in Campus Kabarak, I appreciate they teach people communication. It's actually a unit.
Yes.
Na unaweza anguka hiyo unit ya communication. Yeah. So communication needs a lot of understanding and active listening. So that's one thing I try to practice and show him, that I know you might be strong and all, but if at any point you feel you can't hold it or you have questions, just know there's room to always sit down and I'll listen to you and I'll explain myself. I won't defend. I will explain what is happening. And if I have gone wrong, I will take account to my mistakes and I will apologize. And if it's a misunderstanding, I will let you know it's a misunderstanding, but still I will also apologize for putting you in a bad position.
Watu wanapiga makofi. Namba usikizangi wewe. I know there are people there, they are like, yes.
But also, for someone,
I think it's a process. I think
it doesn't happen at once more. It's actually hard. It's easily said than done. Because also it takes for the other party how you communicate. Where's kuwa umeniraisea voice and you're shouting and you expect me to calm down and
communicate.
Yeah, so we must all meet at a good level. You also must be wanting. Lazima pia unyenyekee ile. If you politely come and ask, 1, 2, 3, please explain to me. I want to understand where it's coming from. Then I will politely communicate. But what happens is, if this one akoju no you akoju, it never haingia nangi. But one thing my mom tells me is women, we are taught to submit. So I know it's a hard thing because we're in this Miss Independence, I can do and all. Yeah, so teach yourself submission so
How
much.
Do you submit?
I'm still practicing. I'm still practicing.
So
That's it.
Serve food hivi.
See you serve ka Ugandans where they kneel and all.
Yes.
But it comes into terms of if there's misunderstanding and all, mwanaume anaweza kasirika and all. And you know you're right. You also feel like pia wewe upande juu jitetee, you make them. Sometimes we shout and tunakuwa na hasira. It's not cause we want to show them we are better, but inakwanga tusikize. Tuna feel hatusikizwe. We feel like we need to raise our voice to be heard and all. But my mom taught me submit. Hata kama wende uko on the wrong, ama ni yako on the wrong, submit. Submit to your husband, submit to your man.
Beautiful. And I love that you've spoken about mom because, you know, when all this came out, there's your mom's side and then there's Kairo's family.
Yes.
How did the family handle this? Did you get calls from Akina Kairo?
No. I've not had calls from the side of the family. Yes. But my mom anakuanga very concerned for me. My mom is my cheerleader. I love you so much, mother. And she was like, uko sawa? Kairo ako sawa? I was like, yeah, mom, we're okay. She was concerned. She was like, just know, people go out, people have fun, people dance, even till right now. Ata leo sini Friday. Watu wapenda kwenda out. Yes. Utapata watu wameketika kwa parliament kweli?
No. No.
People will be dancing. So akaniambia, you did it. It's your past. You did it at that moment. Probably it's not a good picture right now, but it doesn't define who you are. You left it behind. And she loves saying, when people can't access the present you, they start digging the past you, and you already left there. I am not that person.
I don't live there anymore. I don't live there. That's so profound.
Yes.
When they can't access the present you, they go for the past you.
Yes.
But we don't live there anymore.
Exactly.
Very profound. Beautiful. Why do you think the timing, what do you think influenced the timing of people's, you know, just coming out and throwing clips here and there, venye wanasemanga receipts here and there? What do you think influenced that decision from other people?
Okay, at the beginning, people, I think a lot of celebrities or how social media is positioned, when you see two opposite sex together, ni kiki wanafanya. It's something they want to market. It's just drama, ni music wana release.
Ni wimbo.
Exactly.
Yes, to any wimbo.
So, I think when it began, it was probably it's something we're marketing together. Probably it's a brand we're pushing. So, people weren't inclined or bothered by it. But I think when ilianza kukaa ni serious sana, ndio watakuwa okay. And I don't know why people don't love beautiful things out here. I don't understand the bitterness towards something beautiful.
Me too.
Yeah, because when wakiona watu wamependana, people are happy, it just doesn't sit well with Kenyans. Yeah, they must unravel something to ensure they shake it up.
Good. Yeah. Do you think the fact that, you know, for example, Kairo gifts you a lot, you were gifted a Porsche Cayenne?
No, I wasn't gifted a Porsche.
Ilikuwa nini? Ilikuwa jokes? Sisi tulijua kuna Porsche Cayenne, sijui diamonds za 350,000.
No, I wasn't gifted. Gari sini yake, I wasn't gifted.
Okay.
Yes.
So where is the jealous coming? Lakini
I really don't understand.
but he gifts you quite often.
Yeah, he really, he has that love language, yeah, gifting.
Yes,
and I appreciate that about him so much. Because I know a lot of women love that. Yes.
Good. Do you think that rubbed people the wrong way? Just seeing you being, you know, him loving on you like that, gifting you, tunaenda mpaka trips, tuko kwa chofa. Hey, jamani, sai kidogo anaweza kukujia hapa, like, I don't know. Like, do you think him loving on you like that rubbed people the wrong way?
I think our male people deserve softness so much. Because I think tunakuwa tumekea wanaume pressure sana. And when a man goes into a relationship and gives his all and he's heartbroken, he comes out very bitter. Na bado alikuwa anaekewa pressure na society and all. So anaenda nasikiza quote unquote Americs. I don't know who Americs is. These people who are defined Andrew Tate, these people who wanasukumanga hii perception ya don't treat women well. So you do this to a woman, you shouldn't. So akikuja huku during that hurt period, ana feel justified. Akikuja anapata the wrong guidance. That's how I always say, at your weakest point, whatever comes and captivates you, that will really roll over your life. So I feel when men are vulnerable and it goes south and they end up getting a negative perspective or now a toxic perspective that seems like a comfort at the moment, that builds them to be ule, don't be good to women, don't do this, play women, yada yada yada. So I think it may corrupt society again. It brings back, circles back to society. It's given this perception. So, because there are other men out there also doing so good and right by their women, it's just that they are not on social media or out there to be seen by people. But what I'd want to remind men is, not men only, but women, is the hurt that you've gone through in your past relationship doesn't need to define. I know we have walls. You'll feel like I need to guard myself more because mistaki kupitia hii, it was hurtful. But don't love someone lesser or give lesser because of your past experience. Because I always say, imagine if everyone behaved in that way, na kuletea trauma yangu na mauchungu yangu, how will this world be right now? Because everyone has been hurt. If we handle each other with that type of hurt and pain, we wouldn't have beautiful kids out here, beautiful marriages. And actually they're beautiful marriages and we should learn to preach that. There are beautiful relationships and marriages. Let's stop focusing on the negative aspect of it. Because I know deep down, a man wants a family and a beautiful family, beautiful marriage. But society imeka hii perception ya men don't. Wachana na wanawake. Sijui fanya hivi. Na. It's not always the case. So unapata ya na focus na society, maboys wasimwambie amekuwa kasofti, amependa dem.
Ana simp.
Yeah, which is very wrong because I always say, right now it seems very okay. It's okay to follow those people, it's okay to kufuata hizo negativity, but 10 years come, you won't be there. Your friends will be in marriages. How do you start feeling about yourself? Now that's when you start being bitter about life. You get? Yeah.
That's profound.
Yes.
So you don't think at all your partner, Kairo, you don't think he's simping?
No, he's not simping. That's how women should be treated. And I am glad he was raised right. And also, he taught himself right. And he knows that's the right way to go about a woman you love. They shouldn't get less. Yes.
Good. And to people who will say, you know, because they know Kairo out there, I mean, his business is doing great. I've had a conversation with him on this particular platform, and you can see the way he goes around his business. He's really successful in what he does. When people assume you're after him because there is good money in there, what do you say?
People will have your perception. Each time a woman is with someone who has money, that's the statement that happens. Kuna mtu alikujanga akacomment, kuna reward ya kudate poor men? Kuna trophy mtu anapewa? No, but just because your partner has money, it's not that you're after the money or someone. Maybe some do that for the money, but in our case is our relationship. I love him because of how respectful he is, how open-minded he is, how he focused he is towards his goals, how he pushes himself day and night, how prayerful he is. That's the aspects that drew me towards him. You guys see the relationship carnally, but you don't see it in the inside. Us, we know best of what pulled me towards him in the relationship. So let's stop always assuming a woman who's with a guy who has money. Kwanza, to clarify hii, mtu ako na pesa doesn't mean anything. Generosity is what is key. You might be with someone who has a lot of money, but Lynn, they don't do anything.
True story.
It's happened, and women, I know they can back that up. But I am with a generous man. And have you ever seen a relationship? There's a time living in Nakuru, kwa upstairs, kulikuwa na majirani wanaishi chini. It's not a fancy apartment, but they were outside with the husband, they are doing laundry, and Oshana na maji kazi leza soap opera. And I was just like, God, this is beautiful. Like, I want this for myself. And my mom, I know I'm quoting my mom a lot.
Go on.
She was like, sometimes the beauty of life is not having it all. Is having it all in your relationship. Your man might be earning 50,000, but he puts you in a good position, you know. Si ati atakuja na kupea 30k yote. He'll ensure ka date night. Ka simple, maybe ni CJ's amekupeleka, ama Kilimanjaro. And contentment. I tell people to learn the art of contentment because there's a lot of billionaires who feel they don't have it all. And that's how you find people going to extreme of doing different weird things because hakuna your contentment. But learn to be content, and pia mimi najifunza the art of gratitude because we always ask, but we forget to pause and thank for what we have and all. So the art of contentment makes you guys happy. I'm content my guy takes me to CJ's on dates. So hata uniambie nini, mimi itanisumbua kichwa, you get. He might not be driving the fanciest car or we are living in the fanciest apartment, but he gives me attention and I'm content. You know, he does this contentment. So it's not about money chasing a money. It's the contentment that comes with the relationship that we have.
I love that. That's so beautiful.
Yes.
Honestly, I love that. You are Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
You are. You are 20?
25, turning 26 actually. Birthday ni 12 of this month.
12.
So yeah.
Happy birthday in advance. You know, you are Gen Z. I'm a millennial. What do you think has changed in the way your generation dates?
Hey.
From when you look at us, what are some of the things you can't? I can't this millennial thing. What do you like about our generation, and what do you dislike about our generation in the way you guys are dating right now?
Actually, my mama ananiulizanga, how old are you again? Because you'll find me listening to old school R&Bs and 90s. Okay. And I always ask for a 90s type of love. That's what I've always seeked. Miss J. Siki, yeah, Gen Zs. I forever wanted those polite men, those gentlemen. That's what I've seeked. So I do not know what to ask about this dating. Because I think 1, 2, 3 talking stages I've had, I'm like,
I can't.
It's not giving 90s love, so I'm out of here. Yes. So I think in all aspects, I admire the love yenyu ya kitambo. Hata hizo wimbo zenyu zinakuanga so sweet, kina Boys to Men. Unasikia vile wanaimba kuhusu mapenzi, you would fall in love.
Which is your favorite? You know, I like the one, we belong together. Like, although
End of the Road.
Yes.
End of the Road is a good classic one. This one they did with Mariah Carey.
Oh, I loved it.
Yes.
One sweet day.
Yes, exactly.
And I know
exactly.
You're down on me from heaven.
Yes, that's what I love.
I love those ones also.
So you'll find me sinking myself into those kind of songs and all, because I love that old school, that soft love. I love soft love. I'm a soft girl, baby girl, and also.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being in your soft era, you know. Nothing wrong with it. But what do you think people are not getting about your generation, though?
Okay. I rarely interact with them. Even friend group yangu is mature people. Since I was a kid, I think where I've been exposed to, I think I've always interacted with millennials.
Yes.
From
we are cool
places
like
of
that.
work. Yeah, you guys
cool
are so
like
cool.
I know.
I've interacted with millennials. Sometimes I always wonder, where do I fit in? Because when I go to Gen Zs, I'm like, I don't fit in.
Yes.
Millennials, maybe they feel I'm a kid or something, but I blend in all the way.
Yes.
But I don't think kuna policy ya mapenzi. It's not written down. Otherwise, kungekuwa na manual, si wote tungekuwa tunaenda kusoma. So, just do it. And in limitations or ati sijui step 1 do this, day 2 do this. Just do it according to what your heart feels like. Don't limit yourself. Hata ukivunja roho, I know it's hard. You'll have some walls. But what I say, instead of having walls, have boundaries. You know, that makes it easier.
Yes, you know, and you know, sometimes we take for granted being trolled or being cyberbullied and coming out strong on the other side. Because I know there are some people who don't have the strength for it. If someone is actually going through what you went through and they are still stuck, they don't know how to come out of it, what would you tell them?
Honestly, I will just tell you God. Because no human being, no therapist can take you out of it. Yes, they might talk you. Nasemanga, therapy is good. But if deep down, we mwenye hujaamua, hauwezi toka hapo, atuambiwe nini ama nini. It also takes that step. Are you willing to get out of that state? You know, maybe kuna mtu ana thrive off na hajui being in that sad state. But are you, exactly, are you ready to step out of it? Yes, I am ready to step out of it. As much as you go for therapy, also seek God. Honestly, me, I will preach about God any day, anytime. Nikiwa kwa Uber, I think hata my Uber guys mwenye ashaini beba, I'll speak about God if I get the chance to speak about God. Because that's where I get my peace from. Peace that surpasses human understanding. You will never get it from anywhere or any words that are given to you or any motivations or TED Talks. You'll only get it from God.
Yeah, I think you were dragged for so long until people started saying, leave her alone, you know, to those people who are just coming out and they were like, please let this girl rest, leave her alone. How did that make you feel?
I felt it's God's protection. God sent those people to fight for me where I couldn't fight for myself. He saw best to send defenders, and I appreciate them so much, and I love them. And in the midst of me pushing myself forward and all, I'm doing it for those people who love me, those who are defending me, those who are cheering me on. Each day I wake up, I'm doing it for you.
Good.
Yes.
Lafu tukaandikiwa poems. Watu wakasubmit poems. Ulikuwa unazisoma?
There were so many. Because nilikuwa napata DMs, kwa emails, kwa comments za picture. And I'm also grateful that people have sweet words to write. Ataka mlikuwa promise your Gary, it's for the purposes of the car. I still appreciate that. That's very sweet. That means people can actually gather and be sweet on the internet.
And be kind.
Hey, you see?
Yes.
God works wonders.
Do you think that's what Kairo was trying to prove, that we can actually be kind and sweet on the same platform that we are using to destroy each other?
Yes, I think that's the agenda I was trying to push. And also to chaff this uchafu. Because you can't hate me today and come love me today.
Wow.
Yeah, so for the haters ilikuwa ngumu andike poem.
Yes.
Anasikia nilimtukana jana, nitaandika aje poem leo.
Nataka gani? So
exactly. But I think it was an opportunity to show people can actually love. People can actually spread positivity here and there. And it was unmatched. Hadi TikTok, like ilikuwa everywhere. Na kumbuka hiyo siku nilienda Coast, nimepanda ndege. The hostess is like, na tumeandika poem. I'm like, you know. So we can actually spread love so much.
Rurashio tulifanya?
Hapana.
Okay, nilikuwa tunaulizia my people like tuliona ka gathering, so people thought is the Rurashio na tukuitwa kamchele, but me, I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank
honestly.
you so much.
I feel like sometimes no, before I go there, the keyboard warrior, the people who type, the people who want to join the thread, the people who have no idea of who you are, but they always want to join in and say something about you even though they don't know who you are. What would you want to tell them, the keyboard warriors, the bullies?
I think for those who have wenye masikio na wasikie is always remember I'm like your sister, I'm like your family, I'm like your cousin. Just because you're not related like blood, I'm maybe your closest friend. You know, when it's happening to someone else out there, it doesn't affect you until ifanyikie mtu wa kwenyu ndo inakuaffect. So let's keep that in mind. Just because it's happening to someone who's very untouchable from you, it doesn't mean it's not like someone who's close to you. So by the time you write something like that, as I say, you ask about beauty. It begins within. So let what you say reflect who you are. Not even about me or spread love. As you write something, let it reflect who you are. If you want to reflect you're a bad person, well and good. But if you know you're a good person, you preach positivity out here, you're respectful, let it also reflect in how you, just because you're in a pseudo account, wewe unajijua na conviction itakutandika peke yako. People think they can escape. You can run, but not as fast. Everything catches up. And that's one thing I've learned with life. You can't run so fast from life. Itakupita saizi, but kuna mali itakufikia. So just always remember what kitu natoa ndio kitu ni wewe. Might be beautiful, but you remove ugly words. So we end up seeing you as an ugly person. Shaona dem mrembo amepita alafu ametukanana and you're just like inaerase yo urembo yote. But have you ever seen someone who looks arrogant, but how they speak, it gives them beauty. So let it also reflect in your social medias. Where user 001, let it also reflect. Hata kama ni swedo, you think you're hiding behind the swedo. At the end of the day, unakaanga with your thoughts and who you are. Good. Let it reflect. Good. If you're a beautiful person and you want to be termed as that and you want us to respect you out here, let it also come out in the words and then what you type when no one is watching.
Good.
Yes.
What is your take home from all this, all the events that have happened? What have you learned?
I think circling back to when we started is when God is elevating you, your battles become more. So when they become more, don't be shaken. Just pray about it because God knows why he's putting you there. Na akiona hautawezana nayo, hata kuelevate more, you know. That's why I say sometimes God opens some doors, holds some doors, because maybe you're not spiritually inclined to be able to fight those battles, because they are not easy. I might stand here and smile and all, and it's because of God. But generally, watu wengine wangeambiwa hivyo, ingekuwa very ugly. Mtu angekuwa anashindwa kutoka nje or to even put out more content. Like how it happened in 2019, you see, I drew back from everything. So what I've taken out of this is when battles come your way, they're not fighting you, they're fighting what you have. Always recall that. And that shouldn't stop you from being who you are. Continue pushing. As long as you have people to support you, go on. Na kama hauna mtu wa kukusupport, because I know some people don't have support system. Turn to God. He's your greatest supporter. And he'll guide you all the way through. If you feel you don't have anyone to hold, piga magoti, omba, na huyo mwenye akuko juu atakusikiza na atakupa hiyo nguvu. Yes.
And don't break.
Yeah, don't
break. Two people have stood out even as you talk about your story, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to send them a message. Maybe we could start with Mom, looking at that camera, and then Kairo.
Mom, I love you so much. You're my greatest cheerleader. Nisikwe emotional hapa. And I wouldn't be who I am, where I am, without your support.
Okay. You are home. Here we go. Unaona hizi zinakuanga na kazi yake, so don't worry.
Yeah, so makeup itatoka mkona straw.
Haiwezi.
Iteremke na straw. Isiaribu. And niweke straw hivi because the makeup. I just want to appreciate you so much, Mom. I know I might not say it enough or show it enough, but you play such a huge role in my life. And I thank God for you each journey of my life. I love you so much.
Yeah. And I know she loves you right back.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You've said some people don't have a support system.
Yes.
Her being there
And
means
she's
everything.
actually been a huge support system to also other people out there. I've seen, I think nimefunzwa kuwa na grace na upole by my mother, because I've seen her host people, carry them through when they had nothing, when they were chased away. Takuhost, kulishe, na hata kuitisha kitu. So she has a beautiful heart.
Yeah, more grace to her. More grace to her.
Yes.
To Mzee Kairo.
Mnanifanya nitume message hapa. Siwezi mtext tu kwa inbox.
Wewe si message tu, bariki tu kwa show tu. At least ajue nilimjenga, ajue Lynn ka message kalifika home, you know.
Sawa. Kairo, I appreciate you and I thank God for bringing you into my life. I look up to you and I just admire who you are as a human being, how you push so much, how innovative you are, how defensive you are, how godly you are, and you're beautiful in and out, and I don't care what people say about you. You're the most amazing person I know and I've come across.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yes.
And finally, to you,
To
dear
me,
Cera.
Dear Cera, I love you, and I love you for the journeys you've gone through. It's been tough, it's not been easy, but I appreciate you for finding your way back to God, for not taking what critics have to say, for standing by your family and standing firm in your faith and who you are. And I know you're going places, and this is not even a quarter of what God can do for you. By the end of this year, people will be speaking great, massive things about you.
Good.
And you're going to influence a lot of women who are out there. And when they look at you, they will see themselves and they'll be elevated.
Good. And you are not your past.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen to that.
And you are not your past.
Exactly.
I appreciate you. Mine is to encourage you. I see you. You, for me, it's your influencing journey.
Yes.
I think there's this one photo I had seen about you, almost considered buying that. It's like tracksuit.
Outfit.
Outfit.
Shout out outfit, Eli.
Yes.
Yes.
Outfit. It's outfit.
Yes.
And you look so amazing
Thank
in
you
that
so
photo.
much.
And I remember saving it. And I was like, sijui nijaribu. Then nikaona tena ni breathe in. Acha niachie Cera.
No, they have all kinds of wear even.
Hiyo time sana ilikuwa. Unajua acha.
Si kuna kwanga na hizo weekends
Yes.
unasikia tukuvaa.
Yeah.
Actually, so you're going to fly out.
Yes.
Ebu ende outfit kwa outfit. You know, while
Yes, kama
flying,
umeimachisha,
outfit
niende
kwa outfit.
outfit kwa outfit.
Exactly. Bana. Because
Hiyo si ya bure.
their wears are very comfortable. So
Yes.
unajua vile unaweza toa nguo pale airport.
Pale airport.
Yeah, so their clothes are very warm and comfy and so soft, and they're easy and nice to fly with. I call them, maybe they should call them flying outfits.
Good.
Because they're fly and they're flying outfits.
And they're flying outfits.
Nitaanza
Hiyo
kwa
wacha
musician
niadvertise hapa bure. Honestly, no, I love them. I
Yes.
love that brand.
Yes.
But you made me love it.
Thank you so much.
I was just talking about your influencing journey.
Yes.
Don't let the world harden you.
Yes.
And I'm glad to see you are not the kind to be hardened.
Thank you.
Of course, there are moments, even me, sometimes I'm like, I host this show, I'm strong, nini.
Yeah.
There are moments I'll break down. Stima yetu by the way ni kwenda inaenda. So guys, mtaturuhusu tumalize na hii yenye imebaki.
Yes.
We are operating on solar. And there are moments when I say, by the way, God, no one will make me leave what I'm doing
Yes.
because someone told me I'm
Yes.
not worth it. As long
Yes.
as God says this is me, I'm going to do it. Sometimes I listen to people and I'm like, it's not okay for you
Yes.
to let people influence.
Exactly.
And that's what we do as a society. We let people influence us so much. So I wanna wind up, guys. Even the show imekuwa leo, stima it's good tufanyange hizi vitu mkiona. I don't like perfecting things on this show. Stima ikianguka imeanguka. Yeah, but you see, God has given us the grace to be able to finish it. So again, that's God. So ambia watu wangu bye.
Bye. I love
Where
you
can
guys
they
so
find
much.
you?
On Instagram, Cera_Imani, TikTok, Waivera_Imani.
Yes.
And I'll be doing more content for you guys. Partnerships, the brands out there for you guys. And I'll keep on pushing and putting out positivity for you guys.
And more grace to you as you even do that. Me, I want to see you win. I want when you compare this one, when people thought si blessing ingekuletea, ikuwe ni blessing imekuletea, si ndio?
Yes.
Haya, guys, it's flooding, so I see tuna experience blackout left, right, and center, but I hope we can get to be able to appreciate the opportunities God is giving us. Me, I love that I get to sit with you and just host this show and just have these conversations with you. I don't take it for granted. I'm happy I honestly get to host such incredible people, and as I was saying, do not let what people say out there harden you.
Yes.
This way, you know, sometimes people mess up. They think they are bringing you down, but they are helping in the elevation.
Exactly.
So I want to see what good will come out of this. Sawa sawa. Tumaliza hii show.
And you're also a blessing to a lot of people out there. Just know that you
real,
bless a lot of lives.
Yes.
I receive so don't stop.
No, I receive it.
Yes.
So guys, that's just it from us today. I really hope you've taken something from today's conversation. I really want to know what your take home is. I honestly want to, for me, it's extend grace. For me, it's no matter what happens, just because something is happening out there does not give you permission to say something about it if you don't understand it. And I hope we can honestly learn a thing or two in today's conversation. I've really loved hosting this show. I've really loved knowing her. I've really loved, just having, and I feel like this is what we should do. Sometimes we think we know people, but we don't know people. We don't know people at all. And that's why it's always important for you to just lanini tu kujua stories za watu. And this thing of perfection, sijui, we all have a past. By the way, wengine wetu hata venye tuna watch, unajua the way they used to lie to us as kids, ati tukienda binguni God atacheza sinema ya zile vitu zenye tumefanya. By the way, wengine wetu hapa, si ya Cera ni sawa tuliona, lakini wengine wetu hapa God akaamua kucheza kaa yeye. It's going to be tough, sawa Muga ameweka kabatri, but anyways, as I was saying, so tulaningi tu life, wacha kucheka za wenyewe. Sometimes people love going back to your past when they can't access the present you. Lakini si tumelan kitu? Tell me on the comment section, and also follow our guest. Her handles are on the screen right now, and I hope we can continue bringing you beautiful stories and learning one story at a time. Of course, thank you to our beautiful sponsors who I spoke about at the beginning of this conversation, Kings Developers Limited and also Maridadi Motors. We don't take you for granted, but I also have to throw that one there for my brother Kairo. You can also go get beautiful cars from him. And also to thank the team that puts this work together, Muga and the rest of the team. I appreciate you. Hopefully by the time you are watching this, we'll be in Australia, and I can't wait to be able to bring you those beautiful conversations. It's been a beautiful journey. 900k subscribers. We've walked this journey together. Twendeni tu pole pole. Hakuna pressure. And I know we are doing exactly what God said we should do on this earth. Want to share your story? info@lnn.digital. That's where you can always find us. But in the meantime, be kind. Let's extend grace. Let's extend grace. We honestly don't know what people are dealing with. So let's extend grace. So me, hopefully, I get to see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Cheni niende maju, because who is God? Anyways, guys, ni jokes, nitawaletea story poa. Tuonaneni. Bye.